Strength Naturally is on sale, and the magnesium. So get it at the Power Mall. 877-817-9829. 877-817-9829. Or go to thepowermall.com. Also remember Suprema C, which is the high-potency bioflavonoids, ascorbic acid, vitamin C. It is a Gary Null product, and it is high in milligrams. So if you want to be able to have, take a teaspoonful of vitamin C and put it in your smoothie, that'll give you 2,500 milligrams plus 64 milligrams or micrograms, 64 micrograms of selenium also. So that's a very high dose item at the Power Mall. It's 24 ounces, big bottle of Suprema C. Give us a call, 877-817-9829, 877-817-9829, or go to thepowermall.com. California, you have a problem. The reason I say that is according to SB 277, State Bill 277, California vaccine refusers are going to get a court order or a CPS visit. Oh my gosh. California Senate Bill 277 is setting a dangerous precedent by removing medical consent from California school children in 2016. In addition, the bill appears to be in violation of the Nuremberg Code for informed medical consent. However, pressure is already being felt as school administrators and directors have chosen to ignore current law and force vaccine schedules on school children. Months ago, at the start of the 2015 school year, in other words, they're going to start early giving those vaccines and say, well, it's law, so we might as well start now. Months ago, at the start of the 2015 school year, California students faced a rude awakening as they were met with scare tactics and demands to vaccinate that had no legal standing. Latino mothers launched a formal complaint after their children belonging to the LA Unified School District were taken out of classes the first day of school, despite having a personal belief exemption on file. Did you hear that? First day of school, they took the students out of the classes that had waivers and exemptions. Adding further to the confusion, the California Department of Public Health has not updated their website in Spanish to reflect the new SB 277 requirements and when they would take effect. As it stands today, if any school, preschool, or daycare facility does not accept a personal belief exemption for the 2015-16 school year, they are in violation of the law. Did the school nurses get a letter from CDPH advising them the effective date, California Department of Public Health, advising them of the effective date of SB 277 was July 1, 2016? Where is the leadership of Tom Torkelson, California Superintendent of Public Instruction? The Orange County Department of Education Legal Division recently sent out a briefing to their school superintendents, directors, and nurses giving their answers to common questions about SB 277. We'll talk about that after this 1 minute, 10-second break. Not good, ladies and gentlemen. Not good at all. What can you do, parents? Take action. We'll be back after this 1 minute, 10-second break.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, love, laugh, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Fay.
Every Thursday night at 7 on KCAA, NBC News Radio, AM 1050.
This is Dick from Carpet Masters. Carpet Masters has been serving the Inland Empire for over 55 years. Carpet Masters uses extraction cleaning for your carpet because there's no better cleaning to remove the soil from your carpet. All of our furniture cleaning is done by hand in your home or in our plant. Carpet Masters also offers dry cleaning for fine furniture. Call Carpet Masters at 793-7215. That's 793-7215 for Carpet Masters.
You're on board KCAA's Inland Talk Express. KCAA, Loma Linda, 1050 a.m.
Good morning. I'm Chuck Kamlick, CNBC Radio. More pain in your wallet today. Stocks will fall because of ongoing worries about China and interest rates. Shell stock will fall because it will stop drilling for oil off Alaska's shore. Not enough there. It's going to cost the company $4 billion. Germany now investigating Volkswagen's former CEO over that emission scandal. Meanwhile, Audi confirms 2 million of its cars, diesels, have the same issue. Software, those cars will soon be recalled, by the way. CNBC parent Comcast will spend $1.5 billion to buy a majority stake in Universal Studios Japan. Comcast trying to expand its theme park business globally. Whole Foods Market cutting a whole lot of jobs. 1,500 workers will be let go to help save money. More competition and slower sales get the blame. And Tesla's Model X SUV goes on sale tomorrow. The EPA says that vehicle gets a gasoline equivalent of 92 miles a gallon of energy with a range of 257 miles. Chuck Kamlick, CNBC.
Meet Vince. Vince hurt himself mountain biking on Saturday.
Because weekend warrior.
Because noob.
Hey.
Vince is supposed to host an important presentation, but he's not going anywhere in that cast. What should he do?
Rhetorical question.
Vince should try GoToMeeting, the simple way to host meetings online, complete with video conferencing and screen sharing. Send out a meeting link and anyone can join from any computer, tablet, or smartphone. Just takes a click.
Where do I sign up?
Visit GoToMeeting.com to start your free 30-day trial. That's GoToMeeting.com.
This is a public warning of the breakfast blahs. And this is my serious voice because the blahs are serious. Seriously boring and routine breakfasts that turn people into zombies. The cure? Hostess breakfast. Like tasty powdered donuts, fruity blueberry muffins, and rich, flaky danishes. Seriously sweet, seriously delicious. Get them at a nearby store or the blahs could get you. I'm serious. The sweetest cure for the breakfast blahs. Hostess breakfast. Up and eat 'em.
Consider this your invitation to sell. At buysellmakeoffer.com, you can sell as much as you want for the next 60 days without paying any fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. Buysellmakeoffer.com is the new exciting way to sell your stuff online. Make extra money right now. Sell your old car, furniture, video games, household items, clothes, even your home. Sell anything that's legal. Load up your stuff to sell right now at buysellmakeoffer.com. This is your official invitation to get on board to sell your stuff right now. Free for the next 60 days. And once you see how easy it is, you'll want to sign up for more because there are no item fees. That's right. Take this opportunity to move items from the other guys and sell it for free. You might even win a Samsung tablet, Amazon gift cards, and other cool prizes. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the future of online selling. You can use Skype to talk to your buyer or seller. Plus, you can use video to showcase your items. BuySellMakeOffer.com.
With your Monday news, I'm Joe Miller, KCAA, 1050 a.m. CNBC News, the station that leaves no listener behind. Police have identified the man they suspect responsible for a shooting spree that terrorized the city and left 2 dead. 34-year-old James Diaz was booked into the Larry D. Smith Correctional Facility. Reason behind Saturday's shooting spree remain unclear to police. The attacks appeared to have started just after 11:30 a.m. in the 700 block of John Street, where a male body found inside a car. Less than 10 minutes later, a second shooting reported near San Gorgonio Avenue and Nicolay Street, adjacent to Nicolay Middle School. Victim reports someone had shot at their vehicle. More than 170,000 volunteers like Sellers work to improve parks across the country Saturday for National Public Lands Day. Volunteers met near Pinion Flat Campground to assist with trail improvements, trimming plants, planting native vegetation, removing weeds, sweeping and repairing fences. And in Fawnskin, volunteers at the Cactus Flat staging area had a day of planting, watering, erosion control, and seed collecting. LG Electronics USA, which manufactures TV sets cabinets and other electronics, signing a lease to move to a new distribution center off the 210 freeway in Sierra Avenue, property called the Sierra Pacific Center, owned by Pacific Industrial, Long Beach-based investment firm that focuses on the development and acquisition of industrial real estate. The 745,000 square foot lease represents one of the largest leases in Fontana the past decade. I'm Jim Miller, KCAA, 1050 AM, CNBC News, the station that leaves no listener behind.
As the owner of my business, I wear a lot of hats. I'm accounting, sales, and so much more. But I don't know marketing.
Let Dex Media be your marketing department. Our team can create a digital plan for you with everything from search to social. Contact Dex Media, that's DEX Media, to get found, get chosen, and get talked about.
Whoa, that's a job for cleanup, which would be me.
Call 844-230-3436 or visit dexmedia.com today.
Hi, this is Steve Alladort from Rancho Financial with the Mortgage Minute. With property values increasing, this might be the perfect time to do a loan checkup to see if it makes sense to refinance. Do you have an equity line? If your equity line is getting close to 10 years old, your payment is about to fully amortize. Coupled with the certainty that the feds will soon increase short-term rates, there might be a substantial jump in payment on your line of credit. If we combine your current loan, equity line, and possibly even some of your credit debt, there could be a substantial reduction in what you have to pay each month. Do you have VA eligibility? VA will allow 100% cash-out financing. This may be a perfect time to use your eligibility. We can go 85% cash out with FHA or 80% with a standard conventional loan. There are many possible options that could make a huge difference in your monthly payments. That's why you need a loan financial planner to provide you with all of your possible options. Give me a call, Steve Alladort, at 888-563-1070. That's 888-563-1070, or go to loanfinancialplanner.com.
KCAA, where every day is a great day. KCAA, Loma Linda.
Good morning. It's Monday.
Yes, it is.
Hope you had a good weekend. I'm Erin Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we have Brandon in the booth. Good morning, Brandon.
Good morning.
Love the peppy music.
Mm-hmm.
Love the peppy music. So, it's Monday mornings. Tobin, what'd you do this weekend?
Boy.
As if I didn't know.
I ran a lot. We had our first race of the season for my Students Run LA.
Tell us about that, both good and bad, because there was a little drama on the beach.
Yeah, well, we ran at Dockweiler State Beach.
Which is out by LAX.
Yeah, and I don't know if you caught the news or not, but they had some sort of industrial waste spill that occurred just outside that area. It was about a mile offshore, and then all the stuff got washed up right there on Dockweiler Beach. So the beach itself was closed. It had hypodermic needles and other nasty things that had washed up on the beach, and they had to clean it all up. So, we ran the little street there that's right in front of the beach and did our little 5K. And normally after the run would be over, the kids would get to go splash and play in the ocean and make kind of a day of it. But not this year. Nobody went near that water. It was pretty gross.
And I'm sure that was, I'm sure there's a certain percentage of your students who have never seen the beach.
Yeah.
And that must have been really a bummer for them.
Yeah. Well, what was actually cool is when I was driving down, the kids had never seen the airport like that. And they saw these planes flying off from LAX, from up on the freeway. And they were just going crazy.
Oh, I bet they were.
They thought that was amazing. Look at those planes. Oh, my God.
It really is pretty cool if you think about it.
Yeah.
If you're used to it, then it's like, oh, I got to go to LAX. But when you're young and you maybe haven't seen too many airplanes, it's like, wow, because they're so close.
Yeah. And when we were running, the planes come flying right over Dockweiler Beach. And the kids were pretty amazed by that, too, because they were coming right over us, and they had a pretty good view. So, it was a good day. It was fun. And then, of course, Sunday I went to the Angels game, and they won their 5th game in a row, and they're half a game out of the wild card, and now 3 games behind the first-place team for a solid spot in the playoffs.
So if they're half a game out, then somebody else has to lose for them to move up, or they have to win one more, or how does that work?
Okay, it's a combination. The team that's a half a game ahead of them only has 6 games left. The Angels have 7 games left, and they just need to win one more game than this other team of those remaining games, and they would take the wild card spot. And the team that's 3 games ahead of them, they're going to meet them for the final 4 games of the season. So they've got a really good shot at actually winning the division and going into the playoffs or getting the wild card spot. So I'm pretty optimistic. They're on a real roll right now.
You had a lot of fun?
I did. Their bats are working.
Did you have a big hot dog?
I did not have a hot dog. No, we actually ate outside the park before we went in, just saved some money. So it was just a good game. It was a good weekend, real busy. And of course, last night, Aaron.
Oh, there was the eclipse.
The supermoon.
Yes, but I couldn't see it.
Yeah, but we saw lots of pictures online.
Yeah, saw lots of pictures online. So I was visiting friends in the mountains, and where I was, there was some cloud cover, and of course the mountains were blocking the view. And so I quickly drove down the mountains. I mean, safely, but quickly drove down the mountain, and you really couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
So
and a lot of the folks that were kind of in our area, our neighborhood, or around had posted that they couldn't see it. It was just a little too cloudy. But other folks got good pictures. So. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
It is kind of cool. So now on the internet, so it's no secret, I'm pretty open about it, that I have this bizarre habit of I like conspiracy theories. So
yeah.
I will watch these conspiracy theory and like end of the world, it's coming on this date. It happens over and over again. I watch those videos on YouTube. I find them fascinating and entertaining.
Yes.
And the logical leaps that people make and the conclusions that people draw, I just find it entertaining. So September 23rd was the last day set. Now, some people have stretched it out to this week that the world is going to end. So when we're here next week, we'll continue talking about it. It's really something. I think people really want to feel that they are in the inside. They're in the know. They have this desire to feel special, like they figured it out.
Yeah.
And I understand the human desire, but people really need to stop doing it. It's never really worked.
Yeah.
So it sounds like our guest is on the line. I'm so excited. They're New York Times best-selling author Jojo Moyes, and she wrote a book, Me Before You, that spent 65 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list. She has written other books too: 1+1, The Girl You Left Behind, The Last Letter from Your Lover, Silver Bay, Ship of Bridges, and Honeymoon in Paris. She lives with her husband and 3 children in Essex, England, and she's joining us today to talk about her novel, Me After You. So Jojo Moyes, welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Good morning. Of course, are you in England at the moment?
No, I'm in New York. I just got in last night, so I'm on the very first day of a 2-week tour of the States.
Ah, that's wonderful. That's right. I see that you're going to be in the L.A. area here very soon.
I am, next week. I'm looking forward to it, especially as it's pretty cold and wet in England.
Yeah, it's not here, not so much at the moment. So I understand that you did not mean to write a sequel to Me Before You, but that you decided to from fan interaction, etc., you decided to go ahead and write it. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, because usually when you finish a book, you have kind of a 2-month period where you get used to letting go of the characters and moving on to the next thing. And often, to be honest, when you're editing the book, you get so sick of it that you're pretty glad to see the back of everybody. And then what happened with this book, Me Before You, was that there was this extraordinary feedback from readers where people started tweeting me and sending me emails pretty much from day one, wanting to talk about the characters and wanting to talk about what they meant to them and how they reflected their own lives. And so really, Louisa's voice never had a chance to leave me in the way that characters sometimes do, because even today I'm still responding to people's questions about her. And then one day, I guess, after a couple of years, I just let myself ask myself the same question, which was, what would she have done? And then I suddenly came up with an answer, which I'm not going to tell you because I want people to read the book.
Now, this book picks up right where the other one left off, correct?
About 18 months later, yeah, not long after.
So now, in this book, you talk about, this book helps people deal, or the characters deal with grief and loss. Talk about that process when you were writing it.
Yeah, well, I don't suppose it's too much of a spoiler to say that Louisa loses somebody very important to her at the end of Me Before You. And even though she has kind of a brave new world to walk into, she disappears to Paris and she starts to kind of open up her horizons. The more I thought about it, the more I thought how fundamentally terrible it would be to actually realize you'd been with someone in the last moments of their life, someone that you really, really loved. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized that she just couldn't walk away from that easily. And so I wanted to look at what happened in terms of rebuilding your life after you get over a huge shock and a huge kind of grief. So, but equally, I didn't want it to be a really serious book. So it's hopefully got a lot of humor in it. She joins a therapy group, which provides a lot of the humor. She gets a lot of feedback from her family. And mostly she has somebody help her in the form of a character from Will's past who kind of crashes into her life pretty early on in the book. And it's her relationship with Lily, this teenage girl, that really propels Louisa forwards again.
Now, is there a film adaptation planned for Me Before You?
Yes, there is. MGM have been filming it this year, and hopefully it'll be out early next year. They're just in the edit suite at the moment. And I was involved the whole way with the process. I wrote the screenplay, and I was very much involved in all sides of it. So I'm really excited about it, and I hope that readers enjoy the film as much as they enjoyed the book.
Is that your first book that's being turned into a movie?
Yeah, that's the first one that's actually made it. I've sold a few options before, but I don't know, it's kind of like a lottery. You think you get all excited when you sell your first option. You think you can plan your red carpet outfit and all the rest of it. And then I remember asking a film agent way back, I said, so how many film options actually get made into films? And he kind of thought for a minute, and he said, since I've been at this agency, which is about 3 years, that would be 2.
Wow.
I was like, okay, yeah, I won't go and buy my red carpet outfit yet. So, but this MGM movie really did move pretty quickly. So, fingers crossed.
Yeah, well, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. Any big name actors or actresses in the movie?
Louisa is played by Emilia Clarke, who you may know as the Khaleesi in Game of Thrones. And yeah, she's wonderful. She's amazing. She's absolutely gorgeous in real life. And the lead, Will, is played by Sam Claflin, who you may know from Hunger Games and from a film called Love, Rosie. He's all over the place, and he's fantastic as well. He'll break your heart.
Wow.
Now he played well. He's a very, very good looking man, and he was Finnick Odair in the Hunger Games.
That's the one. Yeah, he's the one who used to carry the old woman around on his back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
but I mean, they're both fantastic actors, so it was a pleasure to watch them.
Well, that's very exciting. So tell us about the process of doing a sequel that you never planned to do, and bringing new people into her life, and your main character, was it Louisa? People that you brought into her life. Was that difficult to start imagining her moving on?
Well, initially, as soon as I hit this idea for a plot, I thought this was going to be easy, because often for me the hardest thing is creating characters. For me it's all about character. It's all about creating somebody that the reader wants to kind of hang on to for a bit longer. So I thought, well, I know Louisa and I know a lot of the people who I'm going to reintroduce, so this will be fine, right? And then I started, and the weirdest thing happened, which is that I just kept thinking about what readers were going to think about things that she was doing, because a lot of people have very strong opinions about her now. I think this book sold kind of 6 million copies across the world, and I suddenly thought, should she be having a relationship? Should she be doing this? Should she be doing that? And in the end, I almost ground to a halt, and I had a meeting with another novelist, and I told her what was going on, and she just said, no, you can't do that. You have to put yourself in a bubble. Just don't listen to anybody else. Don't think about what readers think. You just have to write the story you have to write, and if they like it, they like it, and if they don't, that's their problem. But you have to write that book. And it was really liberating to hear that, and then I just got on with writing the book that I'd originally planned. So it's a little bit nerve-wracking. It's definitely more nerve-wracking than any book I've ever written, and it's been out a few days in England so far, and I'm breathing a huge sigh of relief, because so far people seem to like it. But it's really important for me that I just have Louisa behaving as she should, rather than kind of how I anticipate readers want her to behave, if that makes any sense.
No, it does. It sounds like you're protective of her.
Oh, it's so weird, because, you sound like this terrible, pretentious person going, oh, she exists for me in my imagination. But she has become kind of real for me. So you can't live with a character for kind of 5 years and not have them be real for you. And unlike some characters, I can actually tell in my head how she would behave in any given situation. I can put her in anywhere and know what she would say and what she would do. And that doesn't always happen, as other writers I'm sure will tell you.
Now, do you? How much of you is in Louisa?
Well, I didn't think that much, and then when we were filming, it became a running joke that they kept, I'm a bit of a klutz. I am that person who will fall through the, security gates or drop everything at the moment that I shouldn't. And Thea Sharrock, the director, just kept saying, "Oh God, you're being Louisa again." And so I realized that there's probably a little more to her than, or of me and her than I would have liked. But I haven't got a pair of stripy tights, I will say that. But yeah.
So you're saying your friends should buy you some?
No, do you know what? I have been sent a few pairs of stripy tights, but I'm in my 40s. They're not going to look as good on me as they did on Amelia Clark, I can tell you.
So you have 3 California dates on your tour. Can you talk about, the first one is in San Francisco. Can you talk about that one a little bit?
I'm sorry, I'm just flicking through. Yeah, I'm doing, oh gosh, I'm doing one at the Amador Theater. Have I pronounced that right? I'm also doing an event at the Library Foundation of Los Angeles and one at the Rancho Santa Fe Library Guild. If you look on my website, if anybody's interested in tickets, there should be details of how they can get tickets. I know a couple of them have sold out already, so if you are interested, I wouldn't hang around. And I'll be there and I'll answer people's questions and probably tell all sorts of indiscreet stories about everything.
So you'll be in San Francisco on October 5th, in LA on October 6th, and then San Diego on October 7th, I see.
That's right, in Warwick's, in La Jolla.
Nice
which
place.
Is always one of my favorite stops.
So wonderful. Well, we are thrilled that you joined us today. How can people find you on the web, on social media? How can they follow you?
My website is jojomoyes.com, really easy to find, and I'm on Twitter as Jojo Moyes, and Instagram as Jojo Moyes Official, and Facebook under my own name as well. So I'm embarrassingly easy to find, and I will try and answer you if you have any questions for me.
Well, wonderful. Thank you so much. This is a terrific novel. I hope that it sells 65 million copies like your last one did. So again, thank you for joining us. We've been talking with JoJo Moyes. She is the author of course, Me Before You, the best-selling novel, and then has just released a sequel, Me After You. You got to pick it up at your favorite bookseller. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
So I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on The Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050, and we will be right back.
Thank you, Inland Empire, for listening to KCAA Radio.
Call the dogs and put out the fire. This is Baxter Black on Monday, here to start the week with a little peek at the mobile cow catcher. When you go to B&W Hitch Factory for a visit, you won't need a passport or a Chinese translator. Why? Because their hitches are made right here in the heart of America. Sometimes that gets lost in the whir of our global economy, but lots of American businesses have survived the recession without cheapening their products or outsourcing jobs. Instead, they chose to stay at home, share the work, and spread the benefits. Learn more about what B&W stands for by going to AmericanMadeHitch.com. There is a common belief among many urban folks that a cowboy rides around all day and sings to cows. John Wayne and Tom Mix added drifting ranch savor to his resume. Don't worry, Nell. Black Bart will never get your ranch as long as Silver and I remain compassionate. And then Marlboro turned him into a person who chases horses all over the place and relaxes around the chuck wagon in a yellow slicker. And though these portrayals are not all that bad, they miss the point. My favorite description that defines a cowboy is someone who can replace a uterine prolapse in a 1,000-pound cow on the open range, armed with nothing but a rope and a horse. The combination of skills required to accomplish that feat speaks volumes about a real all-around cowboy. Of course, the kind of cowboying required depends on the job. Gathering wild cattle in Arizona is as different from checking feedlot pens in Nebraska as driving a NASCAR entry is from operating a backhoe. But if a cowboy can rope and ride and nose cattle, they can soon learn each other's job. Well, by the end of the rancher sodbuster wars, the cowboy often found himself in the employ of farmers. And as soon as diesel replaced alfalfa as fuel, farmers eliminated horses. Now squeeze chutes, calf tables, aluminum gates, and four-wheelers have taken the place of the cowboy, his rope, and his horse. And the farmer-cowman conversion is still occurring. A rancher in Saskatchewan has invented the mobile cow catcher, an amazing piece of winter shop-time genius. The mobile cow catcher attaches to the side of a pickup. Looks like a prop from the movie Waterworld, and if you didn't see that, it might be best described as a swing set, orthopedic hospital bed, and supermarket automatic door opener combination. You run the cow down with your pickup, capture it like picking up a windrow, then leap out and attend to her problem. The rancher, Mr. Hal Young of Robsart, Saskatchewan, thinks his invention will save a lot of cow wrecks, especially for those cow people who aren't too handy with a rope and a horse. And he may be right. Someday we may see Batman in a movie saying, "Don't worry, Nell, I'll catch your cow and replace that prolapse. Robin, fire up the mobile cow catcher. We've got to remain compassionate."
Back in the saddle.
This is Baxter Black on Monday.
Brought to you by B&W Turnover Bowl.
It's time for the KCAA Community Calendar, brought to you exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools. The clear mission of Learn for Life is to motivate and mentor students who have dropped out of school and provide them with the personalized education and technical training necessary to advance their lives.
Here's a look at the KCAA Community Calendar. I'm Successful Brim. Be sure to check out Redlands Market Night, Thursday from 6 till 9 p.m. Established in 1988, Redlands Market Night has established itself as one of the most successful certified farmers markets in Southern California. Vendors vie to participate in the event that has attracted thousands of weekly visitors since its inception. Visit certified farmers, 20 different food vendors, and over 100 handcrafters, merchants, and business promoters. Visitors are welcomed into an inviting atmosphere, complete with lighted trees, brick sidewalks, historic buildings, and a great musical entertainment at First East State Street in Redlands. Crowds are pleasantly surrounded by over 150 food and merchandise booths, not to mention the downtown shopkeepers every Thursday night.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
While you're there, learn about the healing benefits of live circus sustenance with their 100% raw and vegan eats and treats. You can also participate as a vendor by contacting Heather Smith at Redlands Market Night at cityofredlands.org. Again, Redlands Market Night at cityofredlands.org. And that's a look at the KCAA Community Calendar.
The KCAA Community Calendar is presented exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools where students can complete their education on a part-time basis. To find a resource center nearest you, call 1-877-360-LEARN or visit Learn for Life online at learn4life.org.
10:50 a.m. traffic. I'm Erin Brinker. In Ontario, we have stop-and-go traffic on the 60 westbound between Haven Avenue and the 57 Orange Freeway. The 10 west is slow and go from the 15 to Reservoir. The 210 west is slow and go from Day Creek to Foothill. In Corona, we have stop-and-go traffic on the 91 westbound between McKinley Street and Green River Road. The 71 south is busy between Pine Avenue and the 91. Also in Corona, stop-and-go traffic on the 215 northbound between Temescal Canyon Road and Highway 91. In the Cajon Pass, there's an accident. The shoulder is blocked on the 15 southbound after Highway 138. There's stop-and-go traffic from Oak Hill Road. In Paris, stop-and-go traffic on the 215 northbound between Ethonac Road and Highway 74 west. In Rhino Valley, we have stop-and-go traffic on the 215 northbound between Cactus Avenue and University Avenue. The 60 west is busy between Heacock and the 215. In Riverside, the carpool lane is blocked on the 215 northbound between Box Spring Roads and Fair Isle Drive. This is a hit and run in the carpool lane. In Rialto, an accident is cleared on the 10 eastbound at Riverside Avenue. And finally, in the Cajon Pass, an accident is cleared on the 15 southbound at Kenwood Avenue. The 15 south before Kenwood, a 6-car smash-up has been cleared from the roadway. This has been your KCAA 1050 a.m. traffic report. I'm Erin Brinker.
Tired of spending too much money on an ad and then trying to find your ad in the newspaper, buried among hundreds, even thousands of other ads? Isn't it time you got a great deal when you were trying to sell that car, that dining room set, that refrigerator, or offering your handyman services? Now you can in the Nickel Shopper. For as little as $7.50 per week, your ad can be seen by thousands of eyeballs in the high desert, and they're getting the Nickel Shopper for free. Call today to place your ad in the Nickel Shopper, 760-646-3654, or go to thenickelshopper.com for all the details, 760-646-3654. The Nickel Shopper, now in the IE.
A penny for your thoughts? Sorry, ideas are priceless. AM 1050 KCAA.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050. Before we get into more serious subjects, we have to cover this only in America story.
Yes.
Only in America would this sort of thing happen. An inmate who escaped from a high-rise federal jail in Chicago has an unusual theory on who's to blame. Not making this up. He says the government was negligent in enabling the breakout, so he sued for $10 million in damages.
Mm-hmm.
The 7th U.S. Court of Appeals said in a ruling yesterday that Jose Banks gets a credit for chutzpah, that to say the least, but a 3-judge panel at the Chicago-based court tossed his 2014 lawsuit. No one has a personal right to be better guarded or more securely restrained so as not to be unable to commit a crime, the ruling said. The 2012 jailbreak, Banks and a cellmate rappelled 17 stories down on a rope fashioned from bed sheets and dental floss, then hailed a cab. Banks, who is now 40, was caught within days and his cellmate within weeks. His suit says the damages he suffered from the escape included trauma of dangling on the makeshift rope in fear of his life. Authorities dropped the escape charge against him because he was going to prison for decades anyway on a bank robbery conviction. But Banks, who represented himself in the civil case, alleged his cellmate forced him to participate in the escape, which took months to plan and execute. His suit says guards should have noticed the two were chiseling an escape hole in their cell and should have stopped them long before they fled.
Yeah. I think he has a valid point, Aaron.
You really?
He's hanging by dental floss, Aaron. They couldn't protect him from himself.
But he did it to himself. I mean, if somebody had thrown him out the window and given him dental floss to hang on to, that'd be one thing. But, oh my gosh. I mean, what do you think, Brandon?
Brandon's in shock.
He is. He's speechless.
Yeah, I'm just like, how... Whatever.
And he sues for $10 million, for trauma he inflicted on himself.
Wow.
What if he had won this?
What if he'd actually fallen to his death or something? His family would have sued.
Yes.
And they might have actually gotten some money. That's what's hilarious about this.
Had he won the Darwin Award, his family would have gotten some money?
They might have. They might have said, hey, that, you guys didn't securely keep him in there and this led to his death. And a lot of times entities will pay out kind of lawsuits like that because they've, A, got insurance to cover it, and B, it's cheaper than fighting it in the courts.
But what kind of precedent would that have set? I mean, I'm so glad that these judges said, you've got to be kidding me. And no, because, ultimately, you have to have a point in time or a point in the spectrum of things when one is responsible for one's own doings or one's own self.
Yes. Well, obviously, this criminal has not learned yet to take responsibility for himself.
Indeed.
That's why he's in jail.
Yeah, it sounds like that's the right place for him. So, with all the serious things going on, this one is serious too, but we had to talk about this one first.
Yeah.
So, on to more serious things, to use the word serious one more time. Germany is going through some real issues, all of Europe, really. But Germany has decided to take, I think, the largest number of refugees and asylum seekers, and some of them are just migrants. Not all of them are Syrian.
Yeah.
Some of them are Pakistani. Some of them are Iraqi. Some of them are Turkish. Some of them, they're from all over the Middle East and South Asia.
So I'm having a problem understanding who to believe on this because I swear I see such conflicting stories about what's going on in Europe right now. You see these ones like the one we have in front of us this morning, which comes from a very reliable source, the Daily Mail in the UK. talking about how horrible some of this stuff has been. And then you have these other stories that make it sound like, these folks are integrating and they're being welcomed and helped by all these wonderful Europeans and everything's just peachy, hunky-peachy dory and great.
I don't believe the rosy picture. I don't.
Yeah.
Simply because that large a number of migrants from a culture that's so vastly different from what you have in Europe, there are going to be clashes. It's just human nature. It's not like they're all one faith or they're all, that they share a history or a heritage or commitment to egalitarianism, et cetera, that they have in Europe. None of these migrants are bringing none of that with them.
Yeah. Well, and also, it's that people tend to clump together and go with each other in groups, and wherever they end up, whatever cities they end up in may not have enough housing for them or jobs for them. And so you end up with people that are on the streets, begging. You end up with a whole bunch of crimes that get associated with people that don't have their basic needs met.
Yes.
And it causes other economic impacts, so that rents go up. And
even beyond that, I mean, we've seen a lot of we've hosted a lot of exchange students, and I was an exchange student in Austria, as I've talked about, and you were in Australia. Europe is very open and free, meaning people wear what they want, they go where they want, they do what they want. There's not a lot of the kind of social norms that you have in many of these Muslim countries, where, especially for women, where women aren't allowed to be out and about without their husband. They have to be completely covered up. They, often have to wear a hijab or a full veil. And so that's the culture clash that's happening right now. And this particular article comes out of Gießen, Germany, and a busy shopping street in Gießen, Germany, university town, twinned with Winchester, that's in the UK, and that's what this is the Daily Mail, so they mentioned that. There has been a tremendous number of migrants, and these migrants are approaching women and telling them to get, to stay more clothed. There's apparently been in these migrant villages a lot of rapes of these women and even some children, because most of the migrants are men. The government has come out and told women to keep their girls sheltered, told families to keep their women and girls sheltered, for them to wear conservative clothing, all of this stuff. And if I were German, I'd be upset about that. It's like, hold up, this is my country. I'm going to wear what I want to wear, and if they're committing rapes, kick them out.
Yeah.
So that's what they're facing.
Yeah. Well, the bulk of this article though really deals with these people that are sort of sneaking in as economic immigrants, and they're not really leaving war-torn areas.
They're migrants. They're not refugees.
Yeah. They're just using the crisis as a cover story to get themselves in. But what they're looking for is a better life economically. They want jobs and a higher standard of living, and that Europe offers, and that's problematic. Again, because these folks are willing to work for less, so it pushes wages down, pushes rents up. There's a whole bunch of economic impacts that are caused when you have people like that.
So the female migrants are reporting that they have felt the need to sleep in their clothes. They won't go to the toilet at night because rapes and assaults have taken place on their way to or from there. They're in fear because in the Western way, if you do this in the U.S., if we have an emergency center, something like that, in a high school or a community center,
they separate them.
But we don't separate them. In our country, we don't.
Yeah.
Everybody's kind of in cots are all next to each other, and people generally don't attack one another in that kind of situation.
Yeah.
But that's not what's happening here, where men and women are used to being separated, and now they're together, and the men apparently are having a difficult time controlling themselves.
Well, I hate that wording because it makes it sound like it's not them that's doing it. So it's just it's totally these guys that are just taking advantage of a situation. I don't know.
Well, I don't know how I said.
No, I know. I don't know. I apologize. It just seems like, there's it's like a cultural excuse, and I don't like excusing this at all. It's criminal, and they need to be arrested and dealt with and sent back. A
letter written by social workers in the Gießen camp says the situation is an opportunity for those men who appear to regard women as their inferiors. They treat unaccompanied women as fair game. And that's regardless of age. They've had rapes of young, 13-year-olds, 12-year-olds. Which is, you can hardly call a middle school student a woman.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's true. It's interesting because they have pictures of the places where they're staying, and it actually looks like they've done a pretty spectacular job of putting them up. I mean, this looks like a nice, neat, clean, orderly situation. And to think that people are there and still living in fear,
Yes.
that they can give them such a great facility and provide such great resources, but they can't keep them safe.
I think that as this continues to move forward, because all of these issues exist in those Muslim countries, and if the migrants and refugees cannot conform to European standards of behavior, then they need to go home.
Yeah.
Especially the ones who are not from Syria, Syria or Iraq, where ISIS is. If you're from Pakistan, if you're from, especially Turkey, Turkey is not. There's a lot of these migrants that are from Turkey.
Yeah.
And you need to go home. Either you conform to European standards or you go home. Period.
Yeah.
So I know that sounds harsh, but it has to be that way. The Germans cannot be expected to change their manner of living, their way of living, their lifestyle, their way of life because of these migrants.
Yeah.
That's too much to ask. So, onto a different story. NASA is going to be making a big announcement today. They're planning a big reveal about Mars, but won't say what it is, which, of course, is prompting much speculation. This is according to the Houston Chronicle. They will detail a major science finding from the agency's ongoing exploration of Mars on Monday, that's today, at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So, it's coming up here quickly.
Well, I heard that Matt Damon's been living on Mars now for some time.
Would you stop?
It's a movie.
He has not.
It's a movie.
Yes. And
it's called The Martian.
Movie is fantasy.
I know, but it's called The Martian. I really want to see it.
All right, moving right along.
So what do you think it is? What do you think they're going to announce?
I don't know. Some people are saying that they found flowing waters. Some people are saying, that they found potential for alien life. I don't know. It'll be interesting to watch. You got to watch it.
We got to watch it now.
At this press conference. And so 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time is what time, Tobin?
That would be, what about 8:30 our time?
8:30 our time.
Yeah.
So 8:30 our time.
Yeah.
You can, go to the NASA website, I'm sure, or, turn on your news channels and listen to the news conference.
I wonder if it'll be one of those things where people say, "Where were you when they made the announcement?"
I don't know.
Maybe
they found men on Mars.
That Matt Damon was living on Mars.
Is Will Robinson on Mars?
Yes. Yes. Yes, he is.
Not that I watched that show. Brandon's looking at me like, who? This was a show from the 60s. It even predates me.
Wow. Hey, Aaron, I hate to jump articles here real quick, but I just have to say, you know how I love lists?
Yes.
And usually the lists that I find are like only about 10 or 11 long. How did you find a list of 48 items, Aaron, of the worst frozen foods in America?
Well,
how did you find a list that's that long? Because I love lists.
You do, but we're not going to read all 48, and we probably should wait till after the break.
Okay.
So why don't we go to a break at 6:41? I'm Aaron Brinker,
and I'm Tobin Brinker.
We are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050. We'll be right back.
KCAA Loma Linda.
California headline news. Police trying to learn more about the man responsible for a string of seemingly random attacks that left 2 dead and 3 injured near Banning over the weekend. A man apprehended in Beaumont where officers found a firearm in his vehicle. Moments after an assault at a gas station, authorities received reports of another driver shot and killed.
We don't know if there's any correlation between that incident and the rest of our shootings.
Banning Police Chief Alex Diaz identifying the suspect now as James Diaz, who they say used a gun, his fists, and a blunt instrument in the attacks. Ahead of the House Intelligence Committee classifying everything the Obama administration is doing in the Middle East as a failure.
This is a lot like a Vietnam containment strategy, and they've had a containment strategy for ISIS and radical jihad within Iraq and Syria, and it's destined to failure.
California Congressman Devin Nunes on ABC's This Week. Governor Jerry Brown among those meeting with the Prime Minister of India in San Jose. Geico weather, continued warm, dry conditions. Jeff Scott, California News.
Our vineyard started as a small farm, but with careful planning and hard work, we're now one of the largest grape producers in the region. With so much to preserve, we need to be well protected. That's why we chose Travelers. They have the insurance we need to protect what we've built and to give us the confidence to keep growing.
At Travelers, we're here to help keep vineyards growing today and into tomorrow. Contact your local Travelers agent or visit us at travelers.com/agribusiness.
Call Quicken Loans now at 800-QUICKEN to see if you qualify for the government's Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HARP. And for 5 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction. And for the second year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in mortgage servicing. Call 800-QUICKEN or visit QuickenLoans.com.
Visit jdpower.com for award information. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Number 3030.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Ron Pritchard. For this morning, we've got clear skies, sunny and a high near 99. Tonight, mostly clear, low near 73. Saturday, sunny and a high near 100. Saturday night, mostly clear, low near 73. Sunday, sunny and a high near 97. Sunday night, mostly clear, low near 70. Monday, sunny and a high near 92. That's your weather forecast for this hour from the station that leaves no listener behind. NBC News Radio, AM 1050, KCAA.
In the mood for some great Chinese food? Well, Mr. Yu's Chinese Food is where you need to be. Mr. Yu's Chinese Food not only has a delicious dinner menu, they also offer delicious lunch specials including their yummy fried rice and chow mein. But get this, it also includes any 2 items just for $5.85. Or you can get any 1 item for only $4.85. You should also try their Big Bowl special for just $4.10. The service is fast and friendly. Mr. Yu's Chinese Food is located at 256 Carousel Mall in San Bernardino, California. To contact Mr. Yu's Chinese Food, call 909-383-0195. Again, that's 909-383-0195. And yes, the Carousel Mall is still open.
That's right! Your application looks great, but I'm not seeing any marketing experience.
The ad said mechanic needed.
Right, but I need a mechanic/marketing wizard. What do you know about reputation management?
Nothing.
Search engine optimization?
Is that under the hood?
Let Dex Media be your marketing department. We can help with any digital marketing solution from search to social. Contact Dex Media, that's DEX Media, to get found, get chosen, and get talked about. Call 844-230-3436 or visit dexmedia.com today.
For more local radio every day, listen to KCAA.
Welcome back. I'm Mary Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on The Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050. Tobin, you love frozen dinners.
I don't love them, but you know what? I found them as a great tool for helping me to manage my calories and my salt and some other things that I'm supposed to be watching. And so it's become a part of my lunch routine, and I found a few that I really like. And I'm looking at this list of 43 or 48 of the worst frozen foods, and I'm just laughing because whoever made this list really appears to just hate frozen food.
Well, this was brought to us by the people who wrote Eat This, Not That.
Yeah, which we like. We
like that book.
Yeah.
But so I was really actually not terribly surprised. They don't like the Smoothie Made Easy packs.
Yeah.
Which, you know, a lot of people have smoothies for breakfast. As a matter of fact, I did a poll on my Facebook page.
Yeah.
You know, what do you eat for breakfast? A surprising number just had coffee.
Yeah.
And then there were a lot who had protein shakes of one kind or another. So people often just, you know, throw stuff in a blender and that's their breakfast. Either that or they have donuts and they wanted me to think they just have healthy smoothies.
Yeah, exactly.
They're eating the Hostess donuts because they taste good.
Yeah.
But so they say the frozen smoothie packs are not good. You might think you're being waistline friendly by picking up a pre-made smoothie pack, but you could be sabotaging your weight loss efforts. Many smoothie packs utilize yogurt made with added sugars and colorings. They suggest instead. And this is according to Kayleen St. John. She's a registered dietitian at New York City's Natural Gourmet Institute. Should suggest that you buy unsweetened frozen chunks of fruit and blending them into smoothies with plain yogurt, green tea, or almond milk.
Yeah.
Which actually, I mean, we've done that before. I like the frozen peaches and the frozen berries, and you put that into your smoothie with yogurt. It tastes really good.
Yeah, and that one's not so bad because basically, you know, all the ingredients are pretty easy to get and pretty easy to make.
Right.
But, you know, I use the low-calorie microwave meals because they are so quick and easy. I can just grab it out of the freezer in the morning and go.
I did not see any lean cuisines on this list.
There are some.
Are there some?
There
Are they down a little further?
They're down on the list, but yeah, they're there. But the big picture on that though is they don't want you eating the low-calorie frozen meals because even though they're touted as portion controlled and low calorie, doesn't mean you should stock up on them because they have a surprising amount of sugar, according to St. John. And she wants you to be cautious of meals that have any kind of sweet sauces, like a teriyaki or a sweet and sour.
Now, I have had some of those sweet sauces on those frozen meals, and they are really sweet. They are sickeningly sweet.
Yeah.
And especially the ones that are fried that have like a sweet and sour sauce on them.
Yeah.
I just can't eat them. To me, they're inedible.
Yeah. So she says to stay away from that. But then her tip is that you should opt for pre-made purchase frozen meal ingredients separately. So buy frozen plain quinoa. Let me say that right.
Quinoa.
Frozen edamame and frozen broccoli, and then add your own sauces and flavors so that you know what you're getting with all the ingredients.
And this article they do list and this is on Yahoo Health. There are they list 10 quinoa recipes for weight loss.
Yeah, I just that seems like so much more work for me. And again, part of what I like is the convenience of just grabbing it. But I've been very selective in which ones that I pick, and they're not on this list. And again, I'm watching for calories and salt primarily. Those are the things that I have to watch out for.
So the other one's kind of, it's actually not surprising, frozen macaroni and cheese. But in what universe is macaroni and cheese considered diet food? I mean, ever.
Yeah.
Even if you make it fresh,
Exactly.
In whatever form, frozen, it's never diet food.
Yeah.
Although I have to say, I like Amy's vegan gluten-free macaroni and cheese. It's got the rice noodles, brown rice noodles, or macaroni, and then the Daya vegan cheese. It's actually very good. Now it's high in calories. I'm not gonna lie, it's high in calories.
Yeah.
But they say if you instead of going for the frozen mac and cheese, they say make a fresh batch using real cheese, and you can add cauliflower and butternut squash, and which okay. Cauliflower is like the replacement for a lot of starches.
Yeah.
Although I love potatoes.
Yeah.
A cauliflower is not a potato. I'm just saying right now.
So the next one on the list is one that we just grew up on, right? The frozen burger.
Yes.
I mean, I remember being in high school, coming home.
Grab a couple burgers, throw them on the grill, or later on the Foreman grill. I mean, it was an easy peasy lunch.
Oh, heck yeah. I mean, this was my snack when I got home in high school, right? I mean, because I would eat, you know how teenage boys are. I would just eat and eat and eat, just like our son did.
Yes.
And I would get home and throw a couple frozen burgers in a skillet and cook them up or whatever, and that was easy. But she says, stay away from those suckers, man. They are loaded with cholesterol
and saturated fat.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, I've actually switched to the turkey burgers, and my favorite lunch at the moment is gluten-free bun, because I have to be gluten-free. Turkey burger with guacamole and like sharp cheddar cheese. It is really good, and a tomato.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
So
now,
they say there's a myriad of options in the freezer section for all sorts of nutritious veggie burgers, is what they suggest.
Yeah.
I can't eat those because they have wheat gluten in them, and a lot of soy. Some are made with beans, grains, nuts, soy, or vegetables. And so if you have to have meat, they say eat grass-fed.
Yeah.
All right.
Chicken nuggets is next on there.
Okay.
Avoid them.
Can the people line up or like raise your hand if you think chicken nuggets are health food?
Right.
And it's not. And so there's not the expectation that it's healthy. It's because there's often more breading than there is chicken.
Filled with preservatives and artificial fillers, Aaron. Chicken nuggets.
Which is kind of scary.
Yeah.
What is an artificial filler?
Right.
A lot of cases it's wheat gluten.
Yeah.
But
But I mean, kids. I mean, this is like a standard for little kids, right? When you got little kids at home, you throw some chicken nuggets in with some frozen French fries, which, by the way, is down on the list as well.
Yes.
I mean, this person has basically put anything that you've eaten as a child on the list. Childhood is you forget eating when you're a kid now. It's all done.
We had fish sticks for our kids. They like the
it's on the
sticks.
List.
Yes, but the little ones so they can get their little grubby paws around, and fish sticks and
it's
French fries. I know.
Fish sticks and French fries is all there.
We'd serve applesauce too.
Yeah.
They dip the French fry in the applesauce.
If it was frozen applesauce, it'd probably be on the list too, Aaron.
Probably.
Chicken pot pies on the list, Aaron.
That I'm sorry, that's just mean. Really?
Yeah. Frozen egg and cheese burrito. I mean, you could just go on and on. If you
Well, and
liked
here's the thing that's striking about the egg and cheese burrito. It's made from Evol, which
Yeah.
is love spelled backwards. And so you think that that's health food because you buy that at a Clark's or you buy that at Whole Foods. And it's it kind of made me sad. They say that there's more potato than egg in it.
Yeah.
And what's wrong with that?
Yeah, lean pockets too, Aaron. I mean, it's just anything.
The health food known as lean pockets. That is how do I keep my teenage son fed during the day?
Toaster strudel. I love toaster strudel.
Oh, that health food toaster strudel. Again, I know I keep saying this, but it's like newsflash, donuts are not good for you.
Okay.
Who on this planet thinks they are? Who thinks that toaster strudels are health food?
I know we're not going to do the whole list, but my God, I swear this person has just literally gone through my list of all the stuff I used to eat as a teenager that I loved and said, nope.
Okay,
nope.
so this one is kind of surprising to me. The Amy's whole wheat crust cheese and pesto frozen pizza. Amy's is like they do. It's health food. I mean, they create healthier options for frozen foods.
They've got the word organic.
They do.
The
It's
front.
organic. It's often gluten-free. It's often soy-free. They list all the ingredients. They try to use all whole ingredients. It's all, nothing scary in an Amy's meal, but apparently you shouldn't.
Their crust
too
is too
doughy.
thick.
Yeah, but some people like a thick crust.
Yeah, but there's no calories there. And I mean, there's no health benefits there. That's the least nutritious part of the meal.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
So anyway, I mean, we're having fun with this list, but I'm just shocked. Like I said, I can't believe all the stuff they put on there. How could they do that to us, to all those teenage boys out there who want to be healthier, and they really do.
No, they don't. That's the thing about teenagers. They don't think that they'll ever get sick, or they don't think, they just don't. They don't think. Yep. They don't.
It's true.
So now here's some here that you would like, no kidding. Stouffer's fettuccine Alfredo. That's fattening? Really?
Right.
It's butter and cream and pasta.
Yum,
Of course it's
yum.
fattening.
I love that one. How come we don't have that one all the time?
Ew.
It tastes delicious.
Yeah, whatever. And then Van de Kamp's fish fillets. Yes, it's fried fish and there's fried scallops on here and all
Basically
kinds of
anything
stuff.
fried she doesn't like.
But there's a lot of healthy choice options on here. I say healthy choice. I'm talking the brand. They're cafe steamers. They're
Pineapple
chicken and there's sesame chicken.
Shouldn't like the sweet sauces.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yep. Anything fried, anything with a sweet sauce. It's on the list. All the flavorful ones.
Excuse me. Beef pot pie is on here, of course. I don't know. It's this person doesn't. She's joyless.
Yes.
She wants to take the joy out of our lives so that we can have none of this food.
Yep.
There's Smart Ones on here, which is, that was Weight Watchers, right? That's their brand.
Yeah.
Smart Ones, like they're Smart Time, any mini, they're like sliders. They're Smart Ones, Smart Anytime mini cheeseburgers. And she says that there's a lot of bun around those burgers. Apparently she doesn't like carbohydrates.
Doesn't like carbs. Doesn't like fatty meats. Doesn't like anything with flavor, Aaron. Anything with flavor.
Anything. So we've got about 4 minutes left. Tobin, why don't you take the next story? I see you have the one about the dreams.
I found another list, Aaron. This one says what 6 of the most common dreams mean. And I know you're really into this idea of, what do dreams mean.
I have to tell you, I had a dream last night. I've had these recurring dreams. I believe that dreams are your subconscious trying to work through things.
Yeah.
And you get so busy during the day, you really don't listen to yourself and what your own body and your own mind are telling you.
Yeah.
And so your dreams are a way to work this out. Well, I've had a recurring dream that I swear I'm like, okay, what does this mean? I don't know what it means. And so eventually it'll come, this happens to me fairly frequently in my life. And eventually I'll get it. But go ahead and talk about it, Tobin.
So the first one on their list is finding an unused room in a dream. And so it says what it means. The room in a house represent different aspects of your character. So finding an unused room suggests that you're discovering a talent that you were previously unaware of. What you should do, the more time you spend exploring your dormant talents, the more likely you'll find other doors opening for you in waking life.
Oh.
So that's kind of a cool one.
Well, I have actually had that where I'm exploring a whole unused house. Like, heading upstairs that I didn't know were there. Now, that's not the dream I'm having right now, but heading upstairs that I didn't know were there, exploring rooms that I didn't know were there. And I often had a feeling like I'm not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
There's this, I'm not supposed to be here, which is bizarre.
Yeah.
Which is bizarre.
Well, number 2 on the list, Aaron, is an out-of-control vehicle. And the picture for it's hilarious because they show a car crashed into a house, which that can't be good. But it says, what does it mean? Well, the car represents your ability to make consistent progress towards a specific objective. So in waking life, you may feel that you don't have enough control over your road to success. What you should do, instead of trying to over-control the situation, relax your grip and allow your fundamental instincts and drives to steer the best path for you. So in other words, chill out, man.
Yeah. Although I tell you, before I decided to go to business school, I had this dream over and over and over again that the car had no driver and I was sitting in the back seat.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get to the front seat. And when I enrolled in business school and working towards my MBA, those dreams went away.
Yep.
So it was like I was not on the path that I was supposed to be on or that my subconscious wanted me to be on.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily believe that dreams are prophetic. I think that they can be as your mind works out what could possibly happen, but I don't believe that we get in touch with spirits in our dreams or anything like that. But it is I believe that it's our subconscious working through things.
My dreams are just a way to entertain me because we don't have TV anymore.
We have Netflix.
It's not the same.
We're at the end of the show already. It's 6:59. I'm Aaron Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
We are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050. Have a great Monday, everybody.
This is KCAA Loma Linda, the station that leaves no listener behind. CNBC News is next, a courtesy of buysellmakeoffer.com, where you can post a video about items you have for sale. Sign up now. It's free.
I'm Chris Maurer, CNBC Business Radio. Traders are fretting about China again after it reported more weak economic data. China's industrial profits took their largest drop in August since 2011. Also on investors' minds, the budget battle in Washington and fears of another government shutdown. A key central bank official says the Fed will likely raise interest rates later this year. William Dudley, president and CEO of the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, reiterated that rate increases will be based on economic data rather than the calendar. And we had one strong piece of economic data that could help make the case for an interest rate hike. Americans made more and spent more last month. Personal income showed a 0.3% increase and a 0.4% rise in consumer spending. In just a few moments from now, we'll get a read on pending home sales. Chris Maurer, CNBC.
Meet Vince. Vince hurt himself mountain biking on Saturday.
Because weekend warrior.
Because noob.
Hey.
Vince is supposed to host an important presentation, but he's not going anywhere in that cast. What should he do?
Rhetorical question.
Vince should try GoToMeeting, the simple way to host meetings online, complete with video conferencing and screen sharing. Send out a meeting link and anyone can join from any computer, tablet, or smartphone. Just takes a click.
Where do I sign up?
Visit GoToMeeting.com to start your free 30-day trial. That's GoToMeeting.com.
This is a public warning of the breakfast blahs. And this is my serious voice because the blahs are serious. Seriously boring and routine breakfasts that turn people into zombies. The cure? Hostess breakfast. Like tasty powdered donuts, fruity blueberry muffins, and rich, flaky danishes. Seriously sweet, seriously delicious. Get them at a nearby store or the blahs could get you. I'm serious. The sweetest cure for the breakfast blahs. Hostess breakfast. Up and eat 'em.
Consider this your invitation to sell. At buysellmakeoffer.com, you can sell as much as you want for the next 60 days without paying any fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. Buysellmakeoffer.com is the new exciting way to sell your stuff online. Make extra money right now. Sell your old car, furniture, video games, household items, clothes, even your home. Sell anything that's legal. Load up your stuff to sell right now at buysellmakeoffer.com. This is your official invitation to get on board to sell your stuff right now. free for the next 60 days. And once you see how easy it is, you'll want to sign up for more because there are no item fees. That's right. Take this opportunity to move items from the other guys and sell it for free. You might even win a Samsung tablet, Amazon gift cards, and other cool prizes. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the future of online selling. You can use Skype to talk to your buyer or seller. Plus, you can use video to showcase your items. BuySellMakeOffer.com.
It's time for your KCAA 1050 AM traffic report. I'm Erin Brinker. In Ontario, we have stop-and-go traffic on the 60 westbound between Archibald Avenue and the 57 Orange Freeway. The 10 west is slow and go from the 15 to the 57. The 210 west is slow and go from Day Creek to Foothill. In Chino, an accident. The shoulder is blocked on the 60 westbound approaching Central Avenue. This involves two vehicles in the center divider. In Corona, stop-and-go traffic on the 91 westbound between McKinley Street and Green River Road. East is slow from Van Buren to Central. The 71 South is busy between Pine Avenue and the 91. In Lake Elsinore, there's stop-and-go traffic on the I-215 northbound between Indian Truck Trail and Highway 91. In the Cajon Pass, there's an accident. The shoulder is blocked on the 15 southbound after Highway 138. There's stop-and-go traffic from Oak Hill. This is in the center divider. In Moreno Valley, we have stop-and-go traffic on the 215 northbound between Cactus Avenue and University Avenue. South is slow from La Cadena to Columbia. The 60 west is busy between Heacock and the 215. In Riverside, there's an accident. The shoulder is blocked on the 215 northbound after Blaine Street / 3rd Street. This crash is now along the right shoulder. In Riverside, finally, an accident has been cleared on the 215 northbound before Box Springs Road, Fair Isle Drive. It was a hit and run in the carpool lane. This has been your KCAA 1050 AM traffic report. I'm Erin Brinker.
Mac Flavor Ingredients reminds everyone that each year 200,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer. If detected early, steps can be taken towards prevention and treatment. We urge all women to schedule a mammogram today. This important reminder was a courtesy of Mac Flavor Ingredients in Riverside, where they always work for the safety and welfare of our community, and they're on the air because they care.
With this Monday news update, I'm Jim Miller, KCAA 1050 AM, CNBC News, the station that leaves no listener behind. Multi-vehicle crash Friday involving 2 school buses and 2 other cars, killing 1, injuring 4. Their injuries were considered minor. Fire officials said the driver of a pickup perished at the scene on La Contenta Road and Yucca Trail. 70 students were aboard the buses, the injured taken to a local hospital. Others continued on to La Contenta Middle School. Identity of the fatality not released. San Bernardino residents' monthly sewer bills will go up by $7.15 a month beginning in October and increase more in future years. City councils decided by 1 vote despite public opposition. Water Department staff says the sewer treatment and sewer collection fee increases, which are the first since 2010, are necessary to avoid a sewer disaster in a system where holes have already been found and remain unfixed, and only 20% to 40% of the 500 miles of pipes have been inspected by videotape so far. Construction crews have met a deadline to replace the Tech Wash Bridge on Interstate 10 that was wiped out by a raging flash flood. Caltrans announced the opening of all 4 lanes of the freeway. The eastbound span collapsed July 19 when a sudden 6-inch rainstorm undermined the footings. Traffic diverted to the remaining westbound span, leaving just 1 lane in each direction. Caltrans has inspected 58 bridges within 30 miles east and west of Desert Center, found them safe and secure. I'm Jim Miller, KCAA 10.
This report has been brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council. Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. A public service message brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
Wishing for a little bit more information? You'll get it all here on KCAA Radio.
Capital Management in San Diego, California. Well, it looks like we're going to start this week about how we ended last week, and I've got a lot to say today about this softness in the market, what is bringing this about, and what we can do about it here, because there are some forces here at work in the market that aren't very savory. Anyways, let's take a look here. The Dow right now is down 167 points. It's at 16,147. It's still above the 16,000 level. And in my newsletter over the weekend, I published those levels that I think are critical here for the markets to hold on a technical basis. The S&P 500 is down 25 points. It's down 1.3%. The S&P 500 is at 1,906, still well above the support level that becomes critical, but we need to watch this very closely going forward. The Nasdaq is down a whopping 73 points right now. That's 1.6% as the biotech and the pharmaceutical and the healthcare sector continues to come under attack since Ms. Clinton's comments last week, rattling her saber against these industries. Crude oil markets follow crude oil these days. Markets at crude oil's at $44.73, down 2% today. Gold is not the answer. Gold is now 1.2% at 11.31. The euro's at 1.11. The 10-year yield is down to 2.13%. So welcome to the Best Stocks Now Radio Hour with professional money manager Bill Gunderson, president of Gunderson Capital Management in San Diego, California. Well, let's go through a little bit of news here today. And then I just want to explain a few things that happened last week in the markets and in the world that you ought to be aware of. You ought to know what's going underneath the currents of the market. You ought to know what's going on in the attempt to change the world at the current time, all right? Hey, I'm just going to point it out to you and tell you what a threat it is, something to be mindful of. But let's go through a little bit of news here right now. 13 million iPhones sold over the 3-day weekend. That's a record for Apple, and yet Apple stock, I don't think it's budged. Let me see here. AAPL, Apple is down $1.71 today on that news. JetBlue is preparing for entrance into Cuba. You'll be able to fly JetBlue into Cuba. JetBlue is a stock that I own here at Gunderson Capital Management. I like the fact that it's benefiting from low oil prices, and I like the fact that the stock is looking for 170% growth in earnings this year. JetBlue down 53 cents right now. Pacific Crest downgrades Cuervo, not Jose Cuervo. No, this is a semiconductor stock, and the technology stocks all of a sudden are coming under fire here a little bit, something that we need to be mindful of. Alcoa is going to split into two companies. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's one bad company. Will it be two bad companies now? We'll see. The market likes the news. Alcoa is up 37 cents. Don't forget, Alcoa will kick off earnings season in about 10 days. The third quarter of 2015 will come to an end here, I believe, on Wednesday or Thursday. And guess what? Here comes the flood of earnings reports. We have ACI in survival mode right now. What is that? Arch Coal. Every coal stock is in survival mode right now. In fact, Arch Coal just did a 10-for-1 reverse split. You don't want to be in the coal business right now. I do not own any coal stocks. Maybe a lump of coal in my Christmas stocking. That's about my only exposure to coal. New York Fed's Dudley expects a rate hike this year. You know, I just wonder if they're just rattling that saber and they really have no intention of hiking rates this year. They should have done it here at this last meeting and just got it over with, but they didn't. And now we have to debate once again whether they will or whether they won't raise interest rates at the next Fed meeting. Audi, 2.1 million cars impacted by the vehicle emissions scandal that has just swamped Volkswagen. Let's see what Volkswagen is doing today. VLKAY. Oof. Volkswagen was a $52 stock back in June. Here we are 3 months later, and it's a $23 stock, and it's hitting new lows today. Volkswagen in a hurricane, a tornado has hit Volkswagen headquarters in Germany. Don't forget, 70% of the German economy is automobiles. And if Germany were to go into a recession, they're about the only bright spot in the European economy right now. So we'll see. That's another story that we got to watch. We got to watch the impact that this has on the German economy, which is a big part of the Eurozone. We have Domino's Pizza reporting strong results. Hey, watch that football game. Minnesota, you can thank San Diego for sending the San Diego Chargers your way, and it was a good practice session for Minnesota to practice their plays and whatnot. And I think San Diego was a good practice opponent. Not much of a formidable effort by our Chargers, but again, you can thank us for sending our Chargers there as the sacrificial lambs. Nike wins the Berlin Marathon. But at the end, the runner's shoe was falling apart. Brand new Nike shoes, 26 miles. I guess they need to do retreads or something. So they get a little bad publicity for that. But Nike had a wonderful week last week as they reported earnings that came in quite a bit ahead of expectations. Okay, I did some reading. I've done quite a bit of reading here recently about some things that are going on in the world that I think you need to know about, that, in my opinion, would bring down the global economy, the financial system of the globe, if these things were to be implemented. Now, in the meantime, on the surface, things are growing still here.